Hello everyone, this is yet another video on making one-point perspective projections of an object. In this problem, the front view and top view of the object are given, and the data related the location of the station point, the horizon line and the ground line is also given. So let us attempt this problem in AutoCAD. Okay, so these are the two orthographic views that are given to you in the statement. So this is the front view and this is the top view. Now from these two views we can easily make out that how does the object look like in 3D. So the object looks like this in the 3D. So this is the isometric view of the object. Please keep it in mind that while solving this problem you may not be required to actually make this isometric on your sheet. This isometric has been drawn here only to give you an idea that how this object should look like in perspective also from the given geometrical details. So we start with making the perspective projections of the given object. The isometric that we have just drawn for the ease of understanding. So I'm just placing it here for you to understand the problem properly. So the first step in making the perspective projections is that we first make the uh, picture plane line. So the picture plane line is placed at the appropriate location on your sheet. So this is the picture plane line. Then the next step is that we place the top view of the given object so that one face of the object is touching the picture plane. So in this case the given top view of the object is placed while one face, that is this yellow colored face which contains point A, J and K, etc. This face is actually touching the picture plane. Then the next step is that we have to locate the station point as per the given data. So in this case the station point is given to be 100 millimeters from the picture plane and it is 75 millimeters on right of the rightmost edge of the top view. So this distance is 100 millimeters and this distance is 75 millimeters. So this point is the station point for the given problem. Then next we need to locate the ground line and the horizon line as per the given data. It is given that the horizon line is 20 millimeters from the picture plane and the ground line is 130 millimeters from the picture plane. So we now plot these two lines as per the given details. So these are the two lines, 20 millimeter and 130 millimeter from the ground line. Now after drawing the ground plane line, next step is that we need to place the front view of the given object on the ground plane line, and also that front view should be vertically aligned with the top view. So the front view is placed on the ground plane line and it is vertically aligned with the given top view. Now the next step is that we have to locate the vanishing point. The vanishing point should lie on the horizon line, and this vanishing point on horizon line can be obtained by just drawing a vertical line through the station point. So the vanishing point is simply obtained by drawing a vertical line passing through the station point up to the horizon line. So this is the vanishing point in this case. Now we simply have to connect all the vertices that we see in the front view here with this vanishing point. So starting with this point, let us connect it with the vanishing point, then the second point, then we go ahead with the same process and we simply connect all these vertices with the vanishing point like this and so on. right? So you can also consider connecting this edge here, but eventually this will end up a hidden line, so I'm just ignoring it. So that is fair enough. Now we need to look for all those points in the top view which do not lie on the picture plane. For example, point B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. All these points in top view do not lie on the picture plane line. So for such points we need to find the piercing point. The piercing point for, let us say, point D is obtained by connecting this point D here with the station point. I'm using different color line just for identification. So for finding the piercing point for point D, I draw this line connecting D with the station point. So wherever this line intersects the picture plane line, from that point, this point here, this point of intersection here is the piercing point for point D, vertex D. So from this piercing point of vertex D, draw a vertical line, right? And let this line fall up to this place. So this is the piercing point for point D, and now we have to look for the logical edge on which point D should lie in this view here. Look at this point D lies on this line which comes from A through B through C, then point D lies on this. So point A in this case is here. So point B, C and D should lie on this ray that connects A here with the vanishing point. So we can easily say that this point here is point D actually, right? Same way I can connect point C and connect it with the station point. Before that we can trim the unwanted line here because this is point D here. So this is the vanishing point for C now, and we drop another vertical line from this piercing point and we can trim the unwanted portion. So this point here is now C. Let me just put it point C here. This is point C. This is point C here. Same way you can do it for point B. Connect B here with the station point and draw another vertical line from this location. This has to be vertical. Just trim it, and this point here is point B. This is point B. Sorry, just let me place it at the proper location. So this is point B here. Now we can just darken these points, and we can also see that there's another point just below B here, there's another point just below C here, there's another point below D here. So these points which just lie vertically down under B, C, D, all points here can be obtained on this edge. So we can now just make these lines dark. For that we start from here. Let us say we start from here and let us draw the lines from this location. So this is point A. So A to B, and then down and then back. So that's the first small face, this small face here. Then we start from this location, then we go to this point, then we go to this. So this becomes the second small face, which is this one here, CD. Let us say this point is 4 and 3. So this is CD 4, 3, right? Now I'm just erasing these points from here just to make it more clear. Yeah, so this is how you will get these two faces at this location. Now let us go to point E, F, G and H. So for point E, you just need to connect this E and F with the station point here, and then from this line you come vertically down. Point E and F should lie somewhere here, because E and F, they are supposed to lie on this line and this line. So these two lines are one here and another one is here. So these two lines here in the perspective actually correspond to these two edges in the isometric. So from just for the sake of identification, let us just have a different color. So these two lines for E and F, let us say these two are green. Now from this point, this piercing point, simply draw a vertical line and then we can just trim it. So this point here is point E and this point here is point F. So we can just make this line dark from here to here, and so this is point E here and this is point F here, because these 2 points are lying on this vertical drop line from the piercing point of E and F. Alternatively, or otherwise you can say this is a check. This point E that we got here and this point D that we got here, they should lie on a horizontal line. See, all these edges are horizontal in this direction, like this one. In 1 point perspective, these lines are horizontal and all these edges are vertical. Only converging edges are along this direction, that is depth direction. So even if you get point D here, you can simply straight and draw a horizontal line and let it meet on this ray. So this point E can be directly obtained. So this is just an alternate way of getting point E. So this is a horizontal line, so that is a check. So it means we are doing it correctly. Same way, with the same logic, if I call this point, let us say this is JK, this point is L. Okay, let me just type it. Say this point is, oh sorry, this point is L, and I want another one which is M. So point L is here. This is just for your understanding. This is L, this is M. So L and M should also lie on these edges which come from B and C, and these edges are horizontal. So this L and M in front view appears here. This dotted line here in the front view is actually standing for this face, this small triangular face which is going from LM downwards. So I have got point B here, I have got point C here, and L and M should lie on this edge. So L and M can be obtained by making a horizontal line from B up to this edge. So this will be point L. Similarly, this is point C. I go from this point horizontally and I get a point M on this line. So let us try that. So from here, draw a vertical line. I'm just making it a little longer, then I can trim it. And similarly, you make another horizontal line from point C. Make it a little longer, but make sure it is horizontal, and we can trim it. And then from this point L, connect it with M. So that is L and M, points L and M. With the same logic, I can also locate point G by drawing a horizontal line from here up to this, because point G should lie on this edge and G should also lie on this horizontal line coming from F. F I have already obtained. So either I can connect G like we did earlier, either we can connect G with station point, get the piercing point for G, bring it vertically down. This is one way. Or alternatively, what we can do is we can simply draw a horizontal line from this point, but it has to be horizontal line. So just draw a horizontal line, right? Trim it. So this point here is point G. Alternatively, as I told, point G can also be obtained by first getting the piercing point for G here, then bringing it down. You will get the same point. You can check it. Now we can just change this line to object line, and then we can also make this edge a dark one, right? And but still there is a cut here, there is a cut feature here, so that needs to be incorporated here in this part. So the cut is actually starting from H and I. Let us say I have H and I here. So we first find the piercing point for H and I, because H and I don't lie on the picture plane. So that's the piercing point for H, and also point H should lie on from this location. Draw a vertical line and then you can trim. So this point here is point H. Same way you can try it for I. Connect this with station point, so you get the piercing point for I. From this location you come vertically down, then trim this part of line, and this point here is point I. Now if you get I here and H here, then you simply get this point. You can get this point as well as this point by simply drawing the horizontal lines as discussed earlier. So from this I you draw, from this point I you draw a horizontal line, then trim it, right? And you draw another horizontal line from here this way, but it has to be horizontal, and erase this line, not required. Now this is point I, this is point H, and these two horizontal edges, this and this horizontal edge, actually represent these two edges here in the isometric. And now we can also trim this dark edge in between, right? So this is the cut feature which is here, but this cut feature has to go deep also. So this depth here is actually indicated by this dotted line, and this dotted line is rushing to the vertical the vanishing point in this direction. So we all also know that in one point perspective, all these edges which I am highlighting, like all these edges in one point perspective, they continue to remain vertical. You can see all these edges here are vertical in one point. So by the same logic, this edge here, this little small edge here, and this edge here, these two edges should also be vertical here. So you can directly draw a line from here and then trim it like this. Then you draw another line from here, make a vertical line, and then trim it, and then connect these 2 points here. Now tell me, how will you make this edge and this edge? this has to be horizontal edge in 1 point perspective, and this little edge has to be vertical one. So I just draw a horizontal line from here, I just draw a vertical line from here. So wherever these two lines meet, I just trim the lines beyond this. I don't need these segments. And now I have to darken this edge. This edge here is actually from this location to this location, this one, but part of it will be trimmed because it is hidden. So this portion is actually trimmed. So that's it. Now we are just left with this edge. So this edge has to be a horizontal one, and we just make a line which is horizontal, and we also need to make this little vertical edge dark here. So since it's a vertical edge, keep in mind this vertical edge has to be vertical here also. So from this location just go whatever is the visible part. So that is all about it. Now you can just in AutoCAD you have a liberty to switch off the layers. So I'm now going to switch off all the layers which have all these lines, like these purple these magenta and these sign color lines. So I'm just switching off those layers so that we can have a clear look at what we have created. So this is the 1 point perspective. We are still left with one more edge, that is from here to here. So this edge, if further extended, should definitely tend to that vanishing point. Anyway, so once you have completed the 1 point perspective, then these lines are not required. You can just erase these lines, and these lines are not required. So this is the 1 point perspective of this object. I hope by doing these two examples the things are pretty much clear. Now you can handle any such problem where you are required to make the 1 point perspective. But still, if you have any doubt or query related to all such problems on 1 point perspective, please feel free to contact me or your respective teachers. We are always there to help you. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please keep learning. Thank you.